Hello everyone, welcome back to the Global Online. This is the lecture number 5 of CLAT 2026 Legal Reasoning Previous Year Question Series. In today's session, we will continue solving important legal reasoning PYQs with a detailed explanation, helping you understand not just the correct answer but also the logic behind them. Before we begin, here is a quick reminder. Our new live batch for CLAT exam starting from 28th October 2025. This complete course includes daily live classes, recorded lectures, comprehensive notes, mock tests, and exclusive practice MCQs. The course fee is just 5,999. To join, simply download the Global Online app or contact us on WhatsApp. So there is one passage. The 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976 introduced the concept of environmental protection in an explicit manner into the Constitution through introduction of Article 48A and Article 51AG in main judgment. The Supreme Court ruled that both the state and its resident have a fundamental duty to preserve and protect their natural resources. The recent judgment obliquely makes way for an enforceable right and a potential obligation on the state unless the same is overturned by Act of Parliament. India is signatory of various international environmental conservation treaties under which India has the binding commitment to reduce carbon emission. During the COP21, India signed a Paris Agreement along with 196 countries, under which universally binding agreement was made to limit greenhouse gas emission to level that would prevent a global temperature from increasing to more than 1.5 degrees Celsius before the Industrial Revolution. India has committed to generating 50% of its energy through renewable resources and will generate 500 gigawatt of energy from a non-fossil fuel by 2030, reducing the carbon emission by 1 billion ton. Additionally, India has committed to achieve net zero carbon emission target by 2070. Supreme Court's March 21, 2024 verdict builds on the bulwark of jurisprudence since 1986, and through various other judgments, the Supreme Court has recognized the right to clean environment along with the right to clean air, water and soil free from pollution, which is absolutely necessary for the enjoyment of life. Any disturbance with these basic elements of environment would amount to violation of Article 21. It also establishes duty of the state to maintain ecological balance and hygienic environment. Although right to clean environment has existed by recognizing the right against climate change, it shall compel the state to prioritize environmental protection and sustainable development. अगर हम इस पैसेज को शॉर्ट में समझे तो भारत ने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर पर्यावरण संरक्षण को लेकर अनेक संधियों पर हस्ताक्षर किए हैं, जिनमें प्रमुख है पेरिस समझौता। इस समझौते के अंतर्गत भारत ने यह बाध्यकारी वचन दिया है कि वह ग्रीन हाउस गैसों के उत्सर्जन को इतना सीमित करेगा कि वैश्विक तापमान में वृद्धि औद्योगिक क्रांति से पूर्व की तुलना में 1.5 डिग्री सेल्सियस से अधिक न हो। भारत ने यह भी संकल्प लिया है कि वह 2030 तक अपनी ऊर्जा को 50% नवीकरणीय स्रोतों से उत्पन्न करेगा और 2070 तक नेट जीरो कार्बन उत्सर्जन के लक्ष्य को प्राप्त करेगा। 21 मार्च 2024 के सुप्रीम कोर्ट के निर्णय में जलवायु परिवर्तन के विरुद्ध कार्यवाही को जीवन के अधिकार अनुच्छेद 21 से जोड़ा गया है। न्यायालय ने यह स्पष्ट किया है कि स्वच्छ वायु, जल और मिट्टी का अधिकार जीवन के आनंद के लिए अनिवार्य है तथा इन तत्वों में कोई भी विक्षोभ अनुच्छेद 21 का उल्लंघन माना जाएगा। इस निर्णय ने जलवायु न्याय के अधिकार को संवैधानिक संरक्षण प्रदान करते हुए राज्य और नागरिक दोनों पर पर्यावरण संरक्षण का समान कर्तव्य स्थापित किया है। तो स्टूडेंट्स, हम इस पैसेज के जो क्वेश्चंस है वो देखेंगे। पहला क्वेश्चन है, इन विच अमंग द फॉलोइंग चेंजेस वर इंट्रोड्यूस्ड फॉर एनवायरमेंटल प्रोटेक्शन थ्रू द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया, दैट इज 42nd अमेंडमेंट एक्ट। First one is fundamental right, second one is fundamental duties, and third one is directive principle of a state policy. Okay, to solve this question, we need to find out the keywords which are given into the passage. And the keywords are 42nd Amendment, environmental protection, constitution. These are some keywords which are given in the question. So in order to locate this in the passage itself states that environmental protection was introduced explicitly through Article 48A, that is a directive principle, and Article 51A, that is the fundamental duties. So in order to extract the correct option, we have to eliminate all the wrong options. in which option A, it includes fundamental rights, which is not correct. Option B includes directive principle and fundamental duties, which is correct because Article 51A, that is fundamental duties, and Article 48A, that is directive principles of a state policy, these things are mentioned in the passage. So option B will be the correct answer, option C will be incorrect, and option D, that also going to be an incorrect option. So the fundamental duties and directive principles of state policies, these are the changes which were introduced for environmental protection through the Constitution of India, 42nd Amendment Act. The nature of binding commitment of India to reduce carbon emission through the signing of various international environment conservation treaties, especially the Paris Agreement, may be described as, options are given, the signatory shall take adequate measures to reduce carbon emission. The signatory may take adequate measures to reduce carbon emission. The signatory should explore the possibility to reduce carbon emission, and the signatory may formulate necessary policies to reduce carbon emission. तो यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन में दिया है बाइंडिंग कमिटमेंट that implies mandatory action, and the passage state that universally binding agreement was made to limit greenhouse gas emission, and India has a binding commitment. So the option A, shall take adequate measures, that reflects a binding duty. Option B, may take, that means it is optional or not binding. Option C says should explore, it means it is not binding. And option D, may formulate policies, it means it is a discretionary. So the signatory shall take adequate measure to reduce carbon emission. Option A will be the correct answer here. Under Article 51AG of the Indian Constitution, it is specifically mentioned that citizens shall have the duty to protect and improve the natural environment. That includes, options are given, rivers and lake, forest and wildlife. Option C, all living creatures. Option D, only A and B. So the passage explicitly covers rivers, lakes, forest and wildlife, not just a living creatures. So option A, rivers and lake, is a partial. Forest and wildlife is also partial. यहाँ पे भी आधा दिया है. Option C है all living creatures, which is incomplete, and option D जो है उसमें है lakes, rivers, forest and wildlife, that matches the text. Only A and B will be the correct answer here. Let's move to the next question. As per the aforementioned passage and decision of the Supreme Court, option A, the fundamental duty to preserve and protect natural resources is upon the state only. Option B, citizens alone have the fundamental duty to preserve and protect natural resources. Both the state and citizen have the duty to preserve and protect natural resources. And last option is state's duty to maintain ecological balance and citizen right against a climate change. So as per the passage, both the state and resident have a fundamental duty to preserve and protect the natural resources. It means both the state and citizens, ये दोनों की जिम्मेदारी है to protect and preserve the natural resources. Option C, both state and citizen, which will be the correct answer. According to the passage, what makes India committed to reduce carbon emission? Options are given, because of being a signatory of International Environmental Conservation Treaty. Option B, because of Supreme Court's verdicts, which obliquely makes way for an enforceable right. Option C, because of policy decisions of government. And option D, because of the Constitution of India, that is 42nd Amendment Act. Okay, the passage says India is a signatory of various international environmental treaties. India signed the Paris Agreement. It means because of being a signatory, India is committed to reduce carbon emission. So option A, because of being a signatory, that matches the text. Supreme Court verdict, that is related but a secondary. Option C, government policy, that is derivative. And option D, 42nd Amendment, that is a domestic and non-international. That's why option A, because of being a signatory of International Environmental Conservation Treaty, will be the correct answer here. Let's move to the next question. The passage mentioned that any disturbance with these basic element of environment would amount to violation of Article 21. Article 21 of the Constitution deals with. Options are given: right to equality, right against exploitation, right to freedom of residence, and option D, right to life and personal liberty. So let's eliminate options. So right to equality is as per Article 14 of Indian Constitution. Exploitation is related to the Article 23 and 24, freedom of residence, that is related to the Article 19(1)(e), and right to life and personal liberty is related to the Article 21. So the option D, right to life and personal liberty, will be the correct answer here. So guys, that's all for today's session of CLAT 2026 Legal Reasoning Previous Year Questions. I hope today's detailed explanation helped you understand how to approach legal reasoning questions with clarity and accuracy. If you found this lecture useful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Global Online and press the bell icon so you never miss our upcoming CLAT 2026 lectures. Also remember, our new live batch for CLAT 2026 is starting from 28th October 2025. Join us to get a complete guidance through daily live classes, recorded video lectures, full notes, mock test and practice MCQs. Thank you for watching, keep learning and keep practicing, and we will meet again in the next lecture with more legal reasoning PYQs for CLAT 2026.